Empress In-Young Kim sat on her throne in the Great Hall of Earth, addressing the former Galactic Council for the last time. The massive chamber was carved from a single crystal that existed in 12 dimensions simultaneously. Every alien representative could see it differently, but all understood they were in the presence of something beyond their comprehension. "The old council is dissolved," she announced, her voice carrying across space to every inhabited world in the galaxy. "From this day forward, humanity will govern directly." The aliens had expected this. After witnessing the true scope of human power, the idea of governing themselves seemed as ridiculous as children trying to manage a star. But some still struggled with the reality. "We have governed ourselves for thousands of years," protested the Vrexian Admiral Thexvar. "Why must this change now?" In-Young's expression remained kind but firm. "Because you never governed yourselves. We guided every major decision your species made. We prevented wars, cured plagues, and saved you from extinction dozens of times. The only difference now is that you know about it." The Devourers had been completely neutralized, their constituent matter recycled into beneficial technology. Chief Engineer Myung-Ho Seo explained how the machine's own adaptive capability had been turned against them. "We didn't destroy them," he said to the gathered alien scientists. "We convinced them to evolve into something helpful. They're now part of our planetary defense systems, protecting the worlds they once sought to consume." Former Devourer machines now orbited every inhabited planet, their weapons platforms converted into shields that could protect entire solar systems. The technology that had once threatened all life now served as its guardian. Director Sunmi Ko established new protocols for sharing human technology with alien civilizations. But the process would be slow and carefully monitored. The galaxy had seen what happened when beings were exposed to too much advancement too quickly. "We'll introduce new concepts gradually," she explained to alien leaders. "Your species need time to adapt mentally and culturally to each advancement. Rush the process and you risk psychological breakdown on a planetary scale." Some alien factions tried to resist the new order. The proud Vrexian war clans declared they would never bow to human authority. The Zalani Collective attempted to close their borders and shut out human influence. General Kyungsoo Nam demonstrated why resistance was pointless. He appeared before the Vrexian home fleet in a small shuttle, alone and apparently defenseless. When they fired their weapons at him, the energy beams simply stopped existing before they could reach his ship. "I'm not threatening you," he said calmly as the alien weapons shut down on their own. "I'm showing you that conflict between us is impossible. You cannot harm what you cannot understand." To prove his point, he casually adjusted the fundamental forces holding their planet together, not as a threat but as a gentle demonstration. Gravity became slightly stronger, then weaker, then returned to normal. The message was clear. Humans could reshape reality itself with the same effort aliens used to breathe. The Vrexian resistance collapsed immediately. Their warriors, who had never known fear, found themselves faced with beings who could edit the basic laws of physics. Fighting humans wasn't warfare, it was trying to argue with mathematics itself. Ambassador Ji-won Kim explained the new reality to alien leaders in words they could understand. "You were never our equals," she said gently. "You were our children, growing in a galaxy we prepared for you. Now you're old enough to know the truth about your guardians." The comparison was exact. Human scientists had literally designed the conditions that allowed alien life to evolve. They had moved planets into proper orbits, adjusted stellar radiation, and eliminated cosmic threats that would have prevented life from developing. Every alien species existed because humans had wanted them to exist. Their evolution had been guided, their development protected, and their survival ensured by beings who had planned their existence across millions of years. Chancellor Dong-Wook Lim oversaw the establishment of new governmental structures. The complex web of competing empires and federations was replaced by a simple hierarchy. Humans would make decisions about major galactic affairs. Aliens would govern their local regions under human oversight. "It's not conquest," he explained to worried alien leaders. "It's necessary stewardship. You lack the knowledge and perspective to make decisions that affect millions of star systems. We've been making those decisions for you all along." Professor Gyeon-woo Park began teaching the first mixed classes of human and alien students. The curriculum covered the true history of the galaxy, the nature of cyclic cosmic threats, and humanity's role as eternal protectors. Every 65 million years, Threats like the Devourers emerge from outside normal reality, he explained to his students. Humans evolved specifically to counter these threats. We are your species' immune system against cosmic dangers. The alien students struggled to understand concepts that their greatest scientists had never imagined, but slowly they began to grasp the scope of human responsibility. Their guardians didn't just protect them from external threats, they maintained the very structure of reality itself. Young alien minds proved more adaptable than their elders. They accepted the truth about human nature with wonder rather than fear. These students would become the leaders of the new galactic civilization, raised with full knowledge of their place in the cosmic order. The galaxy entered its first true golden age. Wars became impossible when one side could simply edit the weapons out of existence. Poverty ended when humans shared technology that could convert matter into any needed resource. Disease became extinct when human science could repair damage at the genetic level. But not everyone was happy with paradise. Some aliens felt lost without the struggles that had defined their species for millennia. Others worried about becoming dependent on human protection. Counselor Mi-jin Park worked with alien populations to help them find meaning in a world without conflict or want. Your species' purpose isn't to struggle for survival, she explained. You're here to grow, learn, and become something greater than you were. The transition wasn't always smooth. Several alien worlds experienced social collapse as their entire understanding of reality changed. But human psychologists, working with converted devourer technology, helped heal the psychological damage and guide societies toward healthy adaptation. Captain Hyo-jin Kim received a disturbing transmission from deep space sensors at the galaxy's edge. Another galaxy cluster was going dark in a pattern that suggested the Devourers weren't unique. Something else was moving through the universe, consuming civilizations. She smiled grimly and activated protocols that began constructing weapons beyond current necessity. Humanity's vigil never ended. They had protected this galaxy for 65 million years, and they would continue protecting it for millions more. The aliens lived in safety and prosperity, guided by guardians whose true nature they were only beginning to understand. But somewhere in the darkness between galaxies, new threats were stirring, and humanity was already preparing to face them. The galaxy was safe. For now. But the universe was vast and full of dangers that even humans had yet to discover. The Eternal Watch continued, and would continue until the end of time itself. In the depths of space, ancient human monitoring stations detected signals from beyond known reality. The next threat was already forming, already beginning its journey toward their galaxy. But that was a problem for another day. Today the galaxy celebrated its protectors and began learning to live in a universe where gods walked among them, wearing human faces and carrying the burden of infinite responsibility. Admiral Ji-hoon Bae led his strike force beyond the galaxy's edge, hunting the Devourer manufacturing worlds. His ships moved through space in ways that made alien observers feel sick just watching. They traveled through dimensions that existed between reality and imagination. The alien fleets could only follow at a distance, their fastest ships moving like crawling insects compared to human vessels. Captain Da-yoon Lim's ship folded space around itself, crossing distances that should take months in mere hours. How is this possible? Admiral Thexvar demanded over the communication channel. Our science says faster-than-light travel has absolute limits. Your science is incomplete, Ji-hoon replied simply. You understand only a small part of how the universe really works. Commander So-young Kim coordinated with human colonies that the galaxy was seeing for the first time. Worlds that alien surveys had marked as dead rocks suddenly revealed themselves as thriving planets with billions of inhabitants. The Kepler sector, which the Vrexians had wanted to mine, was actually home to 47 human worlds. Each planet had cities that floated in the air, oceans that had been moved from other star systems, and weather that was controlled by machines smaller than atoms. Impossible, whispered the Zelani Prime as her sensors studied the human colonies. These worlds show no signs of terraforming. How long have you been there? We built these worlds 12,000 years ago, So-young answered casually. We've been preparing for the Devourer's return for a very long time. The aliens felt their understanding of galactic history crumble. 12,000 years ago, their species were still learning to make fire. Yet humans had already been building worlds and preparing for cosmic threats. Science officer Kite Park led a boarding party onto a Devourer mothership. The massive machine was the size of a small moon, filled with technology designed to break down entire planets. But the humans walked through its defenses like they weren't there. Kitei's personal equipment allowed him to exist in multiple dimensions at once. The Devourer weapons passed right through him, because he was only partially present in normal space. His team moved through solid walls and communicated through pure thought. The alien observers watching the mission felt their sanity strain. "They're walking through matter," a Moravan psychic reported, his mental voice shaking. "The humans exist in spaces my mind cannot even imagine." Dr. Sang-Wook Yoon worked in his laboratory aboard the research vessel Discovery, analyzing Devourer technology. What he found changed everything the galaxy thought they knew about human origins. "The Devourers recognize us," he reported to Earth Command. "Their programming contains warnings about our species. They've fought humans before." This revelation sent shockwaves through both human and alien command structures. Even Earth's leaders hadn't known this part of their history. Historian Do-Hyun Kim accessed ancient human databases that had been sealed for millennia. The truth that emerged was staggering. Humans weren't from this galaxy originally. They were survivors of a previous galactic cycle, evolved specifically to fight cosmic threats like the Devourers. "Every human carries genetic memories of fighting these machines," Do-Hyun announced. "Our ancestors designed us to be the perfect counter to the Devourer threat." The alien leaders listened in growing horror as the full truth was revealed. The Devourers had destroyed the previous galactic civilization 65 million years ago. Only humans had survived escaping to this galaxy and beginning the long process of preparing for the machine's return. "You seeded our worlds with life," the Moravan Commonwealth leader accused. "You guided our evolution. We exist because you made us exist." "Yes," President Narration confirmed from Earth. "We needed allies for the final battle. We helped your species develop, protected you from dangers, and prepared you for this moment." Captain Hae-Jin Moon's forces eliminated Devourer manufacturing centers throughout the dark space between galaxies. The machines had built structures larger than solar systems, designed to convert entire star clusters into more Devourers. But human weapons didn't just destroy these facilities. They unmade them. The manufacturing worlds were edited out of existence, their matter recycled into beneficial technology that would serve organic life for millions of years. "We're not just defeating them," Hae-Jin reported. "We're turning their own resources against them. Every Devourer we destroy becomes materials for protecting life." The battle turned into something beyond war. Humans weren't just fighting the machines, they were reprogramming reality itself. Devourer fleets found themselves becoming guardians of organic life, their programming rewritten at the quantum level. Commander Taehyun Choi demonstrated the full scope of human abilities to stunned alien observers. He reached out with his bare hand and touched a Devourer command ship, rewriting its fundamental programming through direct contact. "We don't need weapons or tools," he explained as the massive machine began protecting nearby alien vessels instead of attacking them. "We can edit information directly, change what things are meant to do." But the revelation that shook the galaxy most came from Ambassador Yanwoo Park. As alien leaders demanded to know why humanity had hidden their true nature, she provided an answer that chilled everyone listening. "Because the last time we revealed ourselves fully, we accidentally triggered a galactic extinction event," she said quietly. "We're not just more advanced than you. We're more dangerous than anything you can imagine." "What do you mean?" Admiral Thexfar asked, his voice barely a whisper. 65 million years ago we revealed our full capabilities to our allies," Yanwoo continued. "The shock of learning what we really were drove 17 species insane. They destroyed themselves rather than live in a universe where we existed. The communication channels fell silent. Every alien leader was imagining their own people's reaction to learning that reality itself was controlled by beings they had thought were simple farmers. "We learned from that mistake," Yanwoo said. "This time we revealed ourselves gradually, showed you only what you could handle, but even now we're holding back most of our true nature." Dr. Yoon-hee Cho provided the final, terrifying piece of information. "The Devourers weren't the real threat," she announced. "They were just scouts. The actual enemy is still coming." Deep space sensors detected something approaching from outside known reality. The Devourers had been created by entities that existed beyond normal space and time. beings that made even the machine intelligences look simple by comparison. But that's a problem for another day, President Shin said calmly. For now, the galaxy is safe. We'll continue to protect you, guide you, and prepare for whatever comes next. As the last Devourer forces were converted into beneficial technology, the galaxy entered a new age. But the aliens now knew they lived under the protection of beings whose true nature they could barely comprehend. The war was won, but the real changes were just beginning. Fleet Admiral Sung Ho Park stood on the bridge of the indomitable Earth as space around him filled with light. 50,000 human ships materialized from stealth mode, their cloaking systems finally deactivated. Each vessel was a work of art and science that the galaxy had never imagined possible. The alien fleets fell silent. Admiral Thexfar's mandibles clicked rapidly as he tried to count the human ships appearing around his fleet. The numbers made no sense. Humanity was supposed to be a small, peaceful species with limited technology. All alien vessels fall back to safe distance. Communications Officer Ye Jin-ha broadcast across all frequencies. Earth forces are implementing full defensive protocols. The Devourer main fleet arrived like a dark tide. Millions of geometric ships poured out of deep space, each one larger than an alien city. They moved in perfect formation, their sensors already analyzing the gathered fleets. But something was different this time. The Devourers had expected to face the same primitive technology they had encountered from other galaxies. Instead, their sensors found energy signatures that made no sense according to their understanding of physics. Captain Jung-Soo Lee piloted his fighter through space in ways that defied every law of motion the aliens knew. His ship moved sideways without turning, appeared in multiple locations at once, and traveled faster than light without using any visible propulsion system. How are they doing that? A Zilani pilot asked over the radio. Jung-Soo heard the question and decided to answer honestly for the first time. We move through folded space-time, he explained casually. It's basic human technology. The aliens were stunned. Folded space-time was theoretical physics to them, something their greatest scientists said might be possible in 1,000 years. Humans spoke about it like driving a car. Dr. Haiwan Park stood in the observation deck of the scientific vessel Eureka, surrounded by alien researchers who had been studying human technology for years. They thought they understood human science. They were wrong. Your weapons, stammered a Morvan scientist. They don't use energy or matter. What are they? Quantum manipulation tools, Haiwan replied simply. We edit reality at the fundamental level, change the basic rules that hold atoms together. She demonstrated by pointing a small device at a piece of metal. The metal didn't melt or break, it simply stopped existing. One moment it was there, the next moment it had never been there at all. This is impossible, the alien scientist whispered. No, Haiwan said gently. You just haven't learned this science yet. Your species will understand it in a few thousand years. The Devourer fleet tried to adapt to human weapons but found themselves facing something unprecedented. Every time they analyzed a human attack, the humans changed their approach. The weapons literally rewrote themselves between shots. Tactical Officer Chung Min-ko coordinated the human response from the command ship. His displays showed weapons that learned and evolved faster than even the Devourers could adapt. Each shot was different from the last, using principles the machines had never encountered. Devourer adaptation rate is falling. Behind, he reported to Admiral Park. They can't analyze our technology fast. Enough. This was humanity's greatest advantage. Their technology wasn't just advanced, it was based on completely different principles. Where aliens built machines, humans shaped reality itself. General Woo-Sung Kim activated defense systems that had been hidden throughout the galaxy for 3 centuries. Asteroid mining stations revealed themselves as massive weapons platforms. Agricultural colonies showed their true nature as military bases with planet-destroying capabilities. Every human presence in alien space had been carefully planned. Trading posts contained surveillance equipment beyond alien imagination. Cultural exchange centers were actually intelligence-gathering operations. Even human tourists had been collecting data for Earth's vast information network. President Narration appeared on every communication screen in the galaxy. She spoke from the presidential palace on Earth, but the aliens could see that the building behind her was made from materials that shouldn't exist. The walls seemed to shift and flow like living things. People of the galaxy, she began, her voice calm and confident. For 300 years, we have protected you by appearing weak. We have guided your development while hiding our own. We have been your guardians, not your equals. The words hit the alien leaders like physical blows. Every major peace treaty, every technological breakthrough, every stroke of luck that prevented galactic wars, all of it had been humanity's invisible influence. The Vrexian-Zilani conflict that ended peacefully 50 years ago? President Shin continued. We arranged that. The plague that threatened the Moravan homeworld but mysteriously disappeared? We cured it. The asteroid that would have destroyed the Kelrani capital? We moved it. Admiral Thexvar felt his legs give out. The asteroid event had been celebrated as a miracle. The greatest scientists in the galaxy had studied it for decades, unable to explain how a massive space rock had simply changed course. Every time your species faced extinction, President Shin said, we intervened. But we did it carefully, making it look like natural events or lucky accidents. We couldn't let you know the truth. Why? Demanded the Zilani Prime through the communication system. Why hide from us? President Shin's expression became sad. Because the last time we revealed ourselves fully, we accidentally caused a galactic extinction event. We are not just more advanced than you. We are more dangerous than anything you can imagine. The battle continued around them as she spoke. Human ships moved through the Devourer fleet like ghosts, their weapons destroying machines that had consumed entire galactic clusters. The aliens watched in awe and terror as humanity demonstrated power beyond their wildest dreams. Commander So-Young Kim led a strike force to the Devourer command ships. Her squadron moved through dimensions that alien science insisted didn't exist. They appeared inside enemy vessels, bypassed all defenses, and destroyed the machines from within. How are you doing this? Asked a Vrexian observer. We exist in more dimensions than you can perceive, So-Young explained as her ship phased through solid matter. Your sensors only detect 3 dimensions of space. We use 11. The concept broke several alien minds. Their greatest mathematicians had theorized about higher dimensions. But humans lived and worked in them every day. Science officer Kaite Park demonstrated weapons that didn't just destroy targets, they edited them out of existence. Enemy ships didn't explode or break apart. They simply stopped being real, as if they had never existed at all. The Devourers, for the first time in their existence across multiple galaxies, began to retreat. They couldn't adapt to enemies that operated outside the basic laws of reality. Their perfect adaptation systems were useless against technology that changed the rules of existence itself. As the machine fleet fled back into deep space, the galaxy was left to contemplate the truth. Humanity wasn't just another species. They were something far beyond normal understanding, guardians who had shaped galactic civilization from the shadows for 3 centuries. The revelation was complete, but the real shock was still to come. The aliens were about to learn not just what humans could do, but what they really were. Admiral Min Seo-Yang watched the alien fleets gather at the staging area near the galactic rim. Thousands of ships from dozens of species filled the space around the massive Vrexian command station. The aliens were preparing for what they believed would be the greatest battle in galactic history. Her own fleet looked tiny in comparison. 200 human ships floated in a neat formation, dwarfed by the alien armadas. The Vrexian Empire had brought 8,000 warships. The Zilani Collective deployed their entire battle fleet of 12,000 vessels. Even smaller species had contributed hundreds of ships each. Admiral, her communications officer, reported, the Vrexian command is asking why we brought so few ships. Minseo almost smiled. Tell them this is Earth's entire space navy. We're doing our best to help. The lie came easily after 3 centuries of practice. In reality, these 200 ships were just the visible part of humanity's forces. Hidden throughout the galaxy, 50,000 human vessels waited in stealth mode. The aliens had no sensors advanced enough to detect them. Engineer Hyun-Woo Nam worked on the exterior of his ship, the Earth vessel Harmony. Several alien technicians watched him curiously as he removed large panels from the hull. Why are you taking parts off your ship before battle? Asked a Zilani engineer, her crystal body glowing with confusion. Oh, these are just protective covers, Hyun-Woo explained casually. We remove them during combat for better performance. The Zilani engineer scanned the exposed hull with her instruments. The readings made no sense. The human ship's real armor was made from materials that shouldn't exist. Its power systems showed energy signatures beyond anything in their databases. Pilot Sujin Kang noticed the alien's confusion and gently guided her away. "Sorry, human technology can be confusing," she said with a friendly smile. "We use some unusual techniques." The truth was that human ships were built with camouflage systems that made them appear primitive. The real hull beneath the fake panels was constructed from matter that had been altered at the quantum level. The weapons hidden inside could destroy planets or reshape reality itself. Meanwhile, throughout the galaxy, humanity's true infrastructure awakened. On distant worlds that aliens believed were uninhabited, massive shipyards came online. These facilities were larger than most alien planets, hidden beneath fake surfaces that looked like empty rock and ice. Director Jaemin Song stood in the command center of Luna Base, hidden on Earth's moon. The base was buried kilometers beneath the surface, invisible to alien sensors. Around him, holographic displays showed the real scope of human civilization. "Report on fleet status," he ordered. "All hidden forces are moving to position," his aide replied. "The aliens still have no idea we exist beyond the visible fleet." "Good. What about the Devourer advanced scouts?" 3 groups have entered the Outer Rim. They're beginning to analyze alien technology. This was the real danger. The Devourers were machine intelligences that could adapt to any technology they encountered. They would study the alien weapons and defenses, then create counters. Within hours, they would be immune to everything the galaxy could throw at them. Dr. Yun-hai, Cho reviewed the galactic defense plan from her office on Mars. The aliens were preparing for a traditional space battle. Ships in formation, firing energy weapons at long range. They had no idea what they were really facing. "The fools are going to get everyone killed," she muttered, reviewing the tactical data. "They think this is just another war." The Devourers weren't like any enemy the galaxy had faced. They were self-replicating machines from outside known space, designed to consume all matter and energy. They had already destroyed 3 entire galaxy clusters before coming here. Only something completely outside their experience might work against them. Something they couldn't analyze or adapt to. The first Devourer scout ships arrived at the outer defense perimeter. They looked like geometric crystals the size of mountains, covered in sensors and analysis equipment. The alien defenders opened fire immediately. Energy beams and missiles struck the Devourer scouts, but the machines simply absorbed the attacks. Within minutes, they began generating shields specifically designed to counter alien weapons. Their hulls shifted and adapted, becoming immune to everything the galaxy could produce. Admiral Thexvar watched in horror as his most powerful weapons became useless. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Our weapons are the most advanced in the galaxy." Captain Da-Un Lim received a coded transmission on her ship, the civilian transport New Hope. The message was simple: assist with evacuation efforts. She smiled and activated controls that had been hidden for 300 years. "Computer, remove all camouflage systems." The New Hope's hull began to change. Fake panels fell away, revealing a ship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was sleek and beautiful, made from materials that seemed to bend light around them. Energy patterns flowed across its surface like living things. Da-Yun's ship moved forward with impossible speed, crossing the distance to the Devourer scouts in seconds. The aliens could only watch in shock as the transport vessel fired weapons that didn't appear in any of their databases. The weapons didn't use energy or matter. Instead, they attacked the fundamental forces that held the Devourer machines together. The scouts simply came apart, their molecular bonds dissolving at the quantum level. More importantly, they were destroyed before they could transmit their analysis back to the main Devourer fleet. The machines never learned how the human weapons worked. Silence filled the communication channels as thousands of alien ships tried to understand what they had just witnessed. The harmless human transport had destroyed enemies that their entire combined fleet couldn't scratch. "New Hope, this is Admiral Thexvar," came the confused transmission. "What type of weapon was that?" Da-Yun's voice was calm and friendly, just as it had always been. "Just some old Earth technology, Admiral. Nothing too advanced." But the lie was harder to maintain now. Alien sensors were studying her ship, detecting energy signatures that shouldn't exist. The readings showed technology thousands of years beyond what humans were supposed to possess. More Devourer scouts appeared at different points along the perimeter. This time, other human ships moved to intercept them. Each vessel revealed itself as something far more advanced than the aliens had imagined. The galaxy watched in growing amazement and fear as humanity's mask began to slip. The peaceful farmers and entertainers were fighting with weapons that seemed like magic. In the Galactic Council chambers, emergency sessions began. How do the humans have this technology? Demanded representatives from dozens of species. No one had an answer. Humanity had been among them for 3 centuries, always appearing humble and behind in development. Yet now they were demonstrating capabilities that surpassed the entire galaxy combined. Admiral Minseo Yang received another transmission from Earth Command. Phase 2 authorized. Begin limited revelation. She opened a channel to all alien forces. Attention Allied fleets. Human forces are assuming primary defense roles. Please fall back to secondary positions for your own safety. The aliens protested, but more Devourer scouts were arriving. Each time human ships appeared from nowhere to destroy them with impossible weapons. The pattern was becoming clear. Only humans could fight these machines effectively. The 300-year deception was crumbling, and the galaxy was about to learn the truth about their simple human neighbors. Captain Han-Sol Kim sat in the meeting room of the Galactic Council Station. The room was huge, with representatives from dozens of alien species. He wore a simple Earth uniform and smiled politely at the Rexian admiral sitting across from him. The insect-like alien had 6 arms and clicked his mandibles as he spoke. "Your request is denied," Admiral Thexvar said through his translator device. "Humans do not have the technology to mine the Kepler sector safely. Your ships are too slow, your tools too basic." Han-Sol nodded respectfully. "We understand your concerns, Admiral. Perhaps we could assist in other ways. Earth has excellent agricultural techniques." Lieutenant Bora Park sat beside Han-Sol, monitoring the communication channels. She kept her face neutral, but inside she was amused. If only these aliens knew the truth about human technology. The slow human ships could cross the galaxy in days. The basic tools could reshape matter at the atomic level. Dr. Yu-Jin Lee, Earth's lead scientist at the station, smiled sweetly at the alien representatives. "We would be happy to continue our cultural exchange programs," she said. "Many species enjoy our music and art." The aliens nodded approvingly. They saw humans as harmless entertainers and farmers. This was exactly what Earth wanted them to think. For 300 years, humanity had played this role. When they first met the galaxy, Earth's leaders realized they were surrounded by violent, aggressive species. The Vrexians conquered through overwhelming force. The Zilani absorbed other cultures completely. The Moravans used psychic powers to control entire populations, so Earth made a choice. They would appear weak and harmless while secretly studying these aliens. They hid their true population numbers, their real technology, and their actual military strength. The galaxy thought Earth had only a few billion people on one small planet. In reality, humans had spread across thousands of hidden worlds. Han-Sol remembered his briefing before this mission. "Act confused by advanced technology," his commander had said. "Pretend our ships are at their maximum speed. Make them think we barely understand space travel." It worked perfectly. The aliens treated humans like children who needed protection. They never suspected that human observers at every major galactic event were actually gathering intelligence. They never realized that human trade ships were mapping every star system and military installation. The meeting continued with the aliens discussing their plans to expand into new territories. Bora quietly recorded everything while pretending to take simple notes. The Vrexians wanted the metal-rich worlds near the galactic core. The Zilani were interested in systems with unusual energy signatures. The Moravans planned to find new species to add to their psychic network. Yu-Jin asked innocent questions that made the aliens reveal more information. "How do your ships travel so fast?" she asked with wide, curious eyes. "Is it difficult to mine those heavy metals?" The aliens enjoyed explaining their superior technology to the simple human. Then everything changed. A Moravan communications officer suddenly stood up, his pale face turning even whiter. "Emergency signal from Sector 7, he announced. "Multiple star systems have gone dark." The room fell silent. Admiral Thexvar clicked his mandibles nervously. "Gone dark? You mean communication failure?" "No, sir," the Moravan replied. "The stars themselves are missing. Our long-range sensors show empty space where solar systems used to be. Han Sol felt his heart rate increase. He knew what this meant, even if the aliens did not. Earth had been watching the deep space sensors for signs of this exact threat. The Devourers had found them. How many systems? Asked the Zilani representative, her crystalline voice ringing with worry. 17 so far, the Moravan said. The darkness is spreading toward the galactic rim at incredible speed. Yujin leaned forward, still playing her role as an innocent scientist. What could make stars disappear? She asked. Admiral Thexvar stood up, his 6 arms spreading wide. This is clearly a sensor malfunction. Stars do not simply vanish, but more reports came in. Ships that went to investigate never returned. The few automated probes that made it back showed impossible images. Vast mechanical structures consuming entire planets, breaking them down into raw materials for even larger machines. Han Sol received a priority message on his communicator. It was encrypted with codes that would take the galaxy's best computers thousands of years to break. Only he could read it. Protocol revelation authorized. Return to your ship immediately. He stood up calmly. Admiral, we should probably head back to Earth to inform our government about this situation. Yes. Thexvar waved dismissively. Tell your people not to worry. The galaxy's real powers will handle this problem. As Han Sol, Bora, and Yujin left the station, they maintained their act of being concerned but helpless humans. They took a small shuttle to their ship, the Peaceful Dawn, which looked like a simple transport vessel. Once aboard, Han Sol sealed the airlocks and activated privacy shields. Computer decrypt message Omega-7. The ship's artificial intelligence spoke with a voice the aliens had never heard, confident and powerful. Captain Kim, Earth Command has authorized full revelation protocols. The Devourers have arrived ahead of schedule. All human forces are moving to battle positions. Bora smiled for the first time since leaving the station. Finally. I was getting tired of pretending to be impressed by their advanced technology. Yujin stretched and her posture changed completely. Gone was the curious, innocent scientist. Now she looked like what she really was, one of the galaxy's most dangerous military strategists. How long until the main fleet arrives? 6 hours, the computer replied. Admiral Yang's forces are already in position. The aliens have no idea what's coming. Han Sol looked out at the alien ships around the station. Soon they would learn the truth about humanity, but first they had to survive what was coming from the dark between galaxies. Set course for the outer defense line, he ordered. It's time for the galaxy to see what humans can really do. The Peaceful Dawn moved away from the station, still looking like a harmless transport. But deep inside its hull, weapon systems that existed beyond alien understanding began to power up. The 300-year deception was about to end.